God bless you. Good day and welcome to this edition of the Harvest Reapers Walking as a God TV show. I am your host, the Reverend, the Doctor, the Life Coach, Apostle Howard Akins Jr., and we have a wonderful, outstanding show for you today. Listen, I'm telling you guys right now, I am excited. Look, this set right here is just so awesome. I have two of the most important people in the world, I think, right now with me on this set. And without further delay, I will not look. Let's just get right into this show. I want to introduce to you all on my right side here, Mr. T-Dog.
Thank you,
Mr. T-Dog. Listen, thank you for coming. And it's good to have you on this show. And I know in a minute it's just going to get very interesting. And another person I have on the show, she is the Harvest Reapers President, Life Coach, Dr. Mona Wimley. She's been on with us before, and it's good to have you on again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Well, listen, I want to say to you all, Harvest Reapers, as you know, we've been around for about 5 years now. So if you need your license, we have your doctoral degrees, we have your minister's license, we have forgive the stutter. This is live TV, man, and that's just the way it is. But we have all of these credentials for you if you're interested in a chaplain. Just go to our website, www.harvestreapersint.com, and I promise you'll find something that you need. Well, I just want to get busy here. First of all, again, I want to thank Mr. T-Dog for taking out his time to be on this show, because I know time is money and money is time, sir.
You better believe it. No, I'm honored. I'm honored. Actually, I am.
Yes, sir. Well, it's good to have you. I want to talk a little bit with Mr. Do I call you T-Dog? What do I call you, sir?
I'm fine. T-Dog, Travis, same person. I'm going to get the same answer. But no, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
So I want to deal with it now. I'm a fan of, and I want to say this, I'm a fan of Mr. T-Dog. I love his music. And I'm not easily moved by the rap music. I mean, it took a while for me when it comes to the rap music, because I'm one of those old school gospel. You know, I'm going all the way back there. But then when I listen to the lyrics of his music, and Wimley, you're going to be able to jump in here in a minute also. But I listened to the lyrics of it, and one day I found myself driving down the street, and I'm actually trying to sing this song, and I'm saying, I'm not just local, boy, I'm going worldwide. And so, listen, man, tell me, what is that all about? I mean, because I know through your music, I'm hearing where you come from, how you got started, and then you made this switch from secular over to the gospel. How in the world did that happen?
Wow. God. Well, no, honestly, I used to do a lot of writing in the secular world for Trick Daddy, Rick Ross, Jagged Edge. And I was doing all this writing for all these people, but they was getting the spotlight and all the money. Mm-hmm. So the money that I was getting, I'm like, wow, man, this ain't enough. They getting big money. So I turned to the streets. I started hustling. I was hustling, and I ended up in 2010, I ended up catching a real bad trafficking case. Mm-hmm. When I caught that trafficking case, man, and I'm like anybody else, was brought up in the house. Mom was pastor, dad was in the church. I brought up in the church. And I caught that case, and when I caught that case, and it was a funny thing about this case, I had been to prison 3 times in my earlier years.
Yes, sir.
But it was just this one time, something different.
Wow.
Something was very different.
Wow.
I caught that case in 2010, and I had a friend of mine that I went to school with, who had became a pastor. He said, "Man, we've been friends all our life, man. Won't you come to church with me?" I said, "Man, I really don't want to go with you." I said, "Not right now, especially with all I have going on with this big trafficking case." He said, "Well, this is the time to come."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is the time to come. So I was like, no. He said, "No, honestly, look, just come." And I went, and something miraculous happened.
Yes.
After the service, we sat down, and he said, "T, I've been knowing you a long time." Mm-hmm. He said, "And you've been writing music for so many people." He says, "Not by coincidence that they've taken off and you haven't." Mm-hmm. He says, "Because God has been saving you for something very special."
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow. He said, well, listen, have you ever tried to write something for God? And I said, well, Pastor, this ain't really the time. He said, well, God is telling me that this is the time. So I went home and I thought about it. I said, well, I'm going to do this song. And I say, God, whatever you lay on my heart, that's what it's going to be. I did a song called Wait for My Lord.
Okay.
And when I did that song, Wait for My Lord, I had no intentions of nothing happening with it. It was just a song I did. The pastor took that song and gave it to a friend of his that was interning over at 99 Jams. A week later, the song was on 320 radio stations around the world.
Wow.
And that's with no budget. That's with no manager, no PR. It was only God saying, I'm going to do things for you and show you when everything is out the way, when there's no more drugs, when there's no more friends, when there's no more help. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to strategically show you and set it up where you know it was me who done it when I did it.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. But God.
But God.
But God.
Yes.
That happened. It hit all these radio stations, and I'm saying to myself, I'm like, oh man, what's going to happen? Like, is it time? And then I had, I decided, I said, well, it's just something that's happened. I really still didn't take to it.
Yes, sir.
And God said, oh no, you're the chosen one. It's your time.
You know what? I want to say this because this is so interesting. And Dr. Wimbley, like I said, you can get in here anytime because the reason I want to say to you all, the reason why I got this show and I got these two particular people, because I have here a life coach and a life coach.
Yes.
Dr. Wimbley teaches life coaching from a business aspect, and I think a lot of our young people need to know business, and so that they can start their own business and talk about entrepreneurship. He's a living life coach, and he's telling you, T-Dog is telling you in his music what he's been through, the experiences of life, and these experiences caused him to be where he is right now. If you would not have went through what you've been through, then God couldn't use you. You know what? I'm just so excited. I'm so excited because somebody was just saying to me the other day, how can God use people that have been in trouble? And then I thought about Moses. Then I thought about Paul. And I thought about look at David, T-Dog. Look at David, Dr. Wimbley. The man didn't even have when they picked leaders in those days, they went by your height, how tall you were, and how good your stature. But Samuel, when he went to Jesse's house, he said, look, all of these boys passed by, they fit the bill, but that's not the one. That's right. So the key word that you just said just now was chosen. And many are called, T, and few are chosen. When you have your music, when you have a preacher, and that's what I've been preaching for 29 years, can ride down the street and your music actually was in my car and it grabbed me and I started listening to rap, your music, in a whole different way, man. And so what would you say to these people? What would you say to somebody that you've been in trouble and you feel like that this is it for you? Is there a brand new day?
Oh, come on. Listen, everywhere I go, I tell people, there's no way you can build a house without a blueprint.
My God. See, he coaching, right?
Yes, he is.
That's life coaching, right? I told you now.
It's impossible.
Yes, sir.
You have to have a foundation. With no blueprint, everything that's happened, it has to have a story.
Yes, sir.
God can't use you to change something if you've never been changed yourself.
All right now.
See, he's coaching. He's coaching.
Like I tell people all the time that what's happening to me is no different from anyone else.
Yes, sir.
Everyone is given a gift. It's how we use that gift.
Absolutely.
There's so many times like actually today tonight I'm in concert at Everglades Correctional Institution at the prison with the guys that have life sentences.
Wow.
And God is using me from where I came from to go back in.
Yes.
Wow.
And I remember when I left, the last time I left prison, the lady said, "Oh, you will be back." And she was right. I'm coming back.
All right.
I'm on my way back.
But this time.
But this time.
So, you know what? Out of all of that, I'm seeing that there's no glory without a story. Because, see, what happens is, and I'm talking to all of you here that are watching this show, you must have a story. You know, T-Dog, Coach Wimley, people look at you all as being successful. People look at you all. I said to Coach Wimley the other day, I says, when they look at that nice car you're driving and that big, all of these finances coming in, and people look at your success and they get jealous of you. But guess what? If they knew what you really been through.
Yes.
I had somebody ask me that. He was like, you know, honestly, when I got saved 2010, and when I came in and started doing gospel hip hop, there were a lot of guys doing gospel hip hop, especially in the area.
Well, I've been saying gospel rap. It's gospel hip hop, right?
Gospel rap.
Yeah, I learned something. It's hip hop.
Delivering the message through rap.
Yes, sir.
and a lot of people were upset. A lot of pastors, and I caught a lot of wind from a lot of pastors too, because a lot of pastors, their sons was either rapping in the churches or this and that. But what happened with me just happened too fast, and it was like, boom! Oh my God, how did that happen? That wasn't supposed to happen. Something's not right with that. Oh, maybe he's just using God. He come from the secular world. He's just switching the lyrics around. And what happens is I tell them, well, that person can be T-Dog too, but now you're gonna have to go to prison 4 times. You're gonna have to lose everything.
Man,
you're gonna have to sleep in your car for 2 months.
Wow.
Eat Vienna sausages for 60 days.
It was a purpose.
So now it humbled me. I'm appreciative of everything I get, everything I have. I think I probably be big as all the secular people, Rick Ross's, but I solely give myself away.
Amen.
I have one of the largest charities in Broward County.
Yes, sir.
I hold 4 keys to 4 cities. I hold the key to Broward County. I hold 5 proclamations. That's God.
That's nobody but God.
That's God. That ain't got nothing to do with
Travis. That's nobody but God. and here's a question, Travis. Here's a question to both of you all. Since you mentioned those keys.
Yes, sir.
That is an essential part to becoming successful. You must have some keys.
You must have some keys.
What is your key? And Coach Wimley, what is your key to your success?
The key to my success.
Your success
is knowing where my help comes from.
Amen. What's your key, Coach?
My key is faith.
That's your key.
That's my key.
So what you're saying is what I hear both of you saying is that God is the center and the cause of your success.
Absolutely.
Listen, let's just go at it here for a minute. How do we reach this young generation? You know, we're seeing people, we're killing each other. The young people, it seems like, Coach, we can't reach them. Where do we go from here? I mean, it's just, we need help. We need help. And I want to say this before I cut you loose, T. As a preacher, and I understand why a lot of these preachers, they couldn't accept the hip hop or the rap movement, because they really never took time to listen to it and find out what it was all about. And it's all about tapping into this generation.
Right now. You know, I tell people all the time, the Cadillac ain't made like it used to be.
You know what I mean?
But it's still the Cadillac.
Still the Cadillac.
You know them Cadillacs are tearing up after a year now.
Only thing I'm doing now is it's just another form of me speaking in tongue, reaching people that pastor can't get to.
Yes, sir.
I was me and Jamie Foxx were named the spokesman for the Trayvon Martin Foundation.
Yes, sir.
And I was telling someone the other day, like, a lot of things that's going on with this younger generation is we're not tapping into the rat now. And what I mean by that is we don't march until somebody gets shot.
Wow.
We don't move until something happens. The movement starts when it's quiet.
Absolutely.
It starts when it's quiet.
Absolutely.
And so, like what I'm doing, like with my my ministry is with my church. I've gotten them into because I've got out of giving away the turkeys on Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir.
And having the biggest church toy giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to educate these young men. Half of the guys are hustling because they don't even know how to. They're not even computer literate, so they don't even know how to fill out an application. So it starts with educating them and making moves when it's quiet.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's the only way. You can't do it when somebody got shot and we march and make movement. It's too late.
It's too late because the person is gone. Go ahead, Coach.
What Travis is saying is absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I talk about the economic empowerment piece of it and going back to the basics. See, we are struggling right now because we're just trying to figure out, well, how to make ends meet and all these different things. We think that the money and the economy doesn't affect. The economy has an impact on so many different aspects of our life. So why are we doing, black on black crime? Why are we, going out, as you say, hustling, right? Because it's all about the money. And if we can begin to show our youth, our adults, our just giving back to our community and helping them to understand their money management, the just back to the basics, the computer skills. It's back to the key word you said was education.
Yes. It plays a big role when I'm in the middle schools and I ask the kids. They're so upset, like, well, what's going on around the world. I said, are you upset with? Oh yeah, we don't like it. We don't like what's going on. I said, well, you know what we have to do? Now it's time that we bring you up to be great citizens. Teach you not to get in trouble, where you're able to vote and you have a voice.
Wow.
See, that's the process has to start from elementary and middle school and show. Yeah, you're upset with what's going on. How do we prevent it? How do we stop it? Your vote. So in order for you to vote, you can't get in trouble. Can't go to prison. I have to show you the way.
You know what I'm hearing here, T? I did not know that, and again, I'd like to say I thank you so very much for taking out your time to come on this interview, and you too, Coach Wimbley. But I did not know that you were dealing with these middle school kids, that you were actually going into schools, because that's what we need to do. We need to take our mentoring into this system, because a lot of these kids, they don't have fathers in their home. And I think that's real important there, that you're being a father figure to a lot of these kids that don't have a father. I tell you what I'm going to do. This says, I'm one of those ones that I listen to the voice of God. And I know his voice when he speaks. So you have to be at the point where you know God's voice. And I'm talking to somebody out there now. When God speaks and you hear his voice, listen, don't question God. You just move as he asks you to move. Now, Doc, I want to say this, and I call you Doc for a reason. Get used to it, Doc. I call you Doc for a reason.
Bring it on.
Because you are dealing with these children. You're actually going in the trenches, and you too, Coach. Matter of fact, Coach Wimbley here, she's the head of our life coaching, Harvest Reaper Life Coaching, and she's now in our doctoral degree school. Yes. But this is what I'm going to do for, I'm the apostle, the doctor, and the life coach, Howard Akins Jr., the CEO and the president of the Harvest Reapers International School of Ministry Bible Institute, and we are going to award you with Dr. T and give me 5 an honorary doctoral degree for the work that you're doing in the community, and you're doing an excellent job, and keep it up.
Amen. That is awesome.
Wow.
We have, and so that just that they would know, we have graduated just in the South Florida area over 1,100 ministers and bishops and apostles and pastors alone. We have a school over in the Grand Turks Islands. We're over in Pakistan. We're registered in Pakistan. We have our Fort Lauderdale branch. We have our Miami branch. We're opening our Tallahassee branch. We're coming out of Marietta branch. And our reputation has grown, and it is such an honor to be sitting in the middle of these two people doing a wonderful job in this generation, because we got to touch them, you all.
Yes.
We got to reach them.
Wow, man. You know, it's so ironic you said it, because like I tell you all the time, I'm very cautious of interviews. I'm very cautious of people.
Yes, sir.
I don't move too much,
Yes,
especially with having a concert later tonight. I try to get myself together, but for some reason God just said, you know what, go ahead.
Amen.
Go ahead. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful.
Yes, sir.
And I'm very appreciative.
Amen. Amen. It's the Lord, because you know what, the Lord, and I was just saying this on last night in the class. I said that it's when God elevates you, or when God elevates us, it's different from when a man does it. God puts on people's heart, listen, it's time to elevate my minister now. And whether you guys know it or not, I know you know it. You are a minister. This is another method of ministry, and that's the problem that we're having. I'm talking to some of our preachers out there. We're trying to win this generation with the same old method. And I need you all to hear me good. We need people that can reach our young people, and you must understand that they have a different method, and the method is effective.
Yes.
Because they're not hearing us. You know, like I say, Coach, I'm old school. You know, I like that old school. Give me that old time religion. I like that old stuff. But listen, music changes. Generation changes, and you have to reach this generation, and you guys are doing it. I don't know how much. I think our time is moving pretty fast. We've been having a good time, but yeah, I'm honored. We're honored to do this. Harvest Reapers.
Absolutely.
Harvest Reapers.
I am proud of you. Congratulations. Congratulations.
What's your full name?
Travis Gamage.
Travis Gamage. I like T-Dog.
Yeah.
And you know, everybody knows T-Dog as T-Dog. Everybody, you know, he's the one, he's been out there in the hood, man. Yes. Listen, this man, he walked away from money. He walked away from houses. He gave up all of this thing, and I'm quite sure you had a lot of people upset with you.
I got a whole lot of phone calls.
But you are now, and I don't mean to cut you off in this moment, but you are now the doctor. Travis Gamage.
Can you say it again?
The doctor. The doctor, Travis Gamage. And it's real, brother. It's real.
Man.
How much time we got? I mean, I know we're getting close with it now. We're getting close. We're getting close. Our people out there, they're watching us. We rolling. We're having a good time. Wow. But give us some encouraging words for our young people, T. Can we get them? I know we can get. You already getting them. What you feeling
right now?
My main thing is never give up. You know, there's somebody somewhere that you've gotten tired of. Like, I'm tired of Bobby on drugs. I'm tired of Sarah ripping and running the streets. Like some people's like, I'm tired of him going back and forth to prison.
Yes, sir.
But it's that one pastor.
That one.
Who never gave up.
Wow.
And look at what it became to be.
Look at what it became.
So we give up on people too quick. We really do. And it's taught me patience. My tolerance is different now. I've learned how to deal with a lot of things. I know I spoke to Shimona a while ago, and I had God laid on my heart about the Battle of the Bands.
Yes.
And I said, God, why would you want me to do a Battle of the Bands? Everybody's doing a Battle of the Bands. He said, no, but what I'm giving you is going to be something different. And I woke up that next day and I said, okay, I'm going to put on an event called Battle of the Bands, and it's going to be called Bands Up, Guns Down. And when I first started, I really didn't understand what I was doing, but I was just letting God lead me. I had no idea. I never played in the band. And as I did my research, and God said, well, everybody ain't going to play professional football. I'm like, well, yeah, band give more scholarships than anywhere.
Yes.
Absolutely
and
right.
I formed Bands Up, Guns Down was the event I put on with my charity. And we gave away $30,000 worth of scholarships.
Isn't that amazing?
Congratulations. My first time doing it, with over 7,000 people attended.
Wow.
And
awesome. Awesome.
And it was an event that God gave me a platform for, to be able to help people.
Yes, sir.
And I was like, wow, through my gift of music.
Absolutely. And I like the way you put that, because everybody should know, if you don't know by now, you have a gift. And that gift, what you have, that is your purpose in life. Yes. And you're saying that your music is your gift.
Yes.
Yes.
And so God creates a platform for your gift. And I want to say this before we switch to coaching and get some words from her, because I know our time is running. What do you say to that person that don't know? You just, how how do you really tap into what? How do you find out? How do you know? I mean, how did you know that this is what God has called you to do on this earth?
You know, I used to, when I go to church, I used to see people falling out. So, Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, what is it?
Yeah.
When you really have an encounter with Christ, it's unbelievable.
Yes, sir.
I knew something was different when the desire for hustling left.
Wow.
The desire for different women left.
The change.
The change. And I know this ain't me. Something's going on. Something's different here. But it was a feel good moment. And it's been, and I've been, God has been elevating me. And you know what? I think we all know, and that's the beauty of things. You know how when somebody tell you something, say, you know better.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, maybe we do know. We know.
Deep down on the inside.
I think our problem is trust and faith. We have a problem with faith, having that faith.
Yes.
Because once the lights get turned off, we say, oh, God, it ain't working.
Yeah.
It ain't working. That faith is amazing.
Amen.
It's amazing.
Yes.
You know, now when the lights turn off, I light some candles.
I got you.
I light some candles. Because
I like that.
You gotta have, your mind have to be able to think different.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I light the candles and I'll wait till I get hold of some money to get the lights turned on.
Yes, sir.
You just have to shift, make some different adjustments.
Yes, sir.
And see, that's what God is doing with us. We've been in a certain place so long.
Absolutely.
So He's trying to create a shift.
My Lord.
Yeah.
You know, you preaching my message, man. I preach. So I want to say, T, because I know the time is running out. Again, I want to say thank you so very much, sir,
thank you
for being on this show. And Dr. Wimley, you got a few minutes just to put something out there. What would you say to these young people? Your life coaching business is becoming successful. You're doing an absolutely wonderful, outstanding job with Harvest Reapers. Harvest Reaper School of Ministry is growing. And as people know, that Harvest Reapers is not about Dr. AKINS. It's not a family movement. It's about people, all walks of people.
Right.
And what do you say to those young people out there that they're not career minded at all? They, you know, hey, I'll settle with Burger King. I'll settle with McDonald's. What do you say to these young people?
Well, just this week, I had an opportunity to go out to one of the local schools. And one thing I share with them, see, people think that you just arrived. They think you just came up and you T-dog.
Yeah.
They don't know, as you say, your story.
Yes.
So I had an opportunity to share with the young kids where I came from. I go out and I mentor at Martin Luther King Elementary School, you know, some of the local schools, and let them know, guess what? I grew up off 6 Trump. I didn't just arrive here. There was a process that took place.
You grew up in the hood.
I grew up in the hood. I keep it real. And I let them know it had to be a mind shift. You have to want it. So as adults, as leaders in the community, we have to just know to pour back into those kids, let them know that they are loved. They want to know that they're loved.
Yes.
Despite of what you're going through, I let them know despite of what you look like, you just have to change your mindset and say that you want it. I had to let them know, listen, this is where I came from. This is where I am. Nothing to something. But it was a shift, and somebody was connected to me, as T-Dog said, and somebody poured into me, and I began to get that revelation, and I knew that I wanted more.
Amen. Amen. I want to say this, and I'll close. I want to say this real quick. I want to thank Coach Mona Wimley for making this happen, for hooking us up with Mr. T here. Dr. T, thanks again, man. I appreciate it. And I want to say that Musgrove Music TV is number 1. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Musgrove for allowing this to happen. And you all watch the show. Get T-Dog's music and tap into Coach Wimley. Well, God bless you all. And thank you so very much for watching Harvest Reapers Walking as a God TV show.
Musgrove Music presents brand new album by Daniel Musgrove, On Bended Knees, in store now. Pick up your copies at iTunes, eMusic, Amazon MP3, Google Play, or wherever music is digitally sold. You will be blessed. Follow Musgrove Music on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube for all our latest releases. Musgrove Music, where praising God is our business and business is good.